Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trailer Hitch. You might be listening to us on either iTunes, you might be listening to us on Stitcher, because now we are on that.
What is that?
That is an app that you can download for your smartphone. Now, we had a lot of people, well, a lot, we had one. We had one person come to us and say, hey, I'm an Android user, I need to be able to listen to you guys, what can you do for me? And we were like, buy an Apple product, what are you, a Luddite? And then we
don't have an Apple product.
Have you been listening to our podcast?
I don't listen to our podcast.
You live it?
I live it.
I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So anyway, we're on Stitcher now. We're on iTunes. We're on WordPress. You have many, many ways to listen to us. You also have ways to contact us if you want to hit us up on Facebook, if you want to hit us up via our email, trailerhitchmailbox@gmail.com.
Oh, you got that down. You got that memorized.
Absolutely, sir. And we have people who have hit us up, so we're going to be talking about a trailer that someone has specially requested for us.
We're taking off, Kevin.
That said, we haven't had anyone take us up on a theme song yet.
Nope.
Which is very unfortunate. So, I gotta say, boy bands are making a nostalgic comeback, and it's only a matter of time before an emo comeback. Wouldn't you say so, James?
I'm so ready for the emo revolution.
So, we were all hanging out on Saturday night, just having a great time. And Helena by My Chemical Romance came on. And we all looked at each other and were like, this song?
Jesus song,
how
right?
lame, right? Now, bear in mind, we were all a few drinks in. And so once the chorus hit, you had 6 drunk dudes screaming at the top of their lungs. No, you might be like, hey, I hated emo 10 years ago. I still hate it now. Fucking send us a song then. Until then.
You can't haul your stuff without a trailer hitch. Trailer hitch.
Grab a seat, pour yourselves some whiskey neat. It's time to judge the shit out of these future releases by the movie trailers. We're trailer hits. This movie might totally suck, but the whiskey sure is going down fine. Yeah, we're trailer hits.
So long and good night.
That was good.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a harmony there.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I should have went lower to meet your high. Yeah.
Yeah. We trailed off at the end there. That's fine.
That's okay.
Crushed it.
Absolutely crushed it. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Trailer Hitch.
Welcome to Trailer Hitch.
I am Kevin.
I'm James.
And today we got lots of really good trailers for you.
Heck yeah.
Good trailers is what I said.
Gourd.
I don't know why.
Lots of gourd trailers.
So, to start, we are going to be talking about something that one of our friends, our dear Rio Hada, shout out to Rio.
Shout out to Rio.
Has submitted a couple of trailers. We picked the one that we thought that we liked a ton.
Yeah.
We wanted to pontificate on it.
And we picked one that would be more relatable to a broader audience, too.
Yes.
Because Rio has a very niche taste, I would say.
Rio is Japanese. He sends a lot of things that are Japanese.
Yeah, that's basically what I meant.
Bear in mind, I love Japanese movies. He's sent us a few Japanese trailers.
Yep.
So tonight we're going to be talking about The Ring versus Grudge.
Which is as ridiculous as it sounds and awesome.
We're going to get into that a little bit later. We also have coming up Live by Night, which is Ben Affleck's new movie.
The new Ben Affleck film.
New Ben Affleck film. That's going to be coming out in 2017. And you're like, God, that's such a long way away. What can you satiate me with in the meantime? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about the Morgan trailer, which is currently out now.
It just came out, but that's okay.
The reason why we wanted to talk about it, and we thought it was worth mentioning, is because they actually put out a trailer that was created by an artificial intelligence.
An AI.
Yes.
Yeah.
They fed the footage of the movie into a computer. They also fed in a bunch of horror movies into this computer that analyzed what made audiences most tense, like which scenes. And using an algorithm, it picked scenes from the movie to cut into this trailer.
Yeah. So if an artificial intelligence wants to be like humans, they're going to be rated and judged just as badly as human trailer editors are. By us, Kevin.
Whatever the robot equivalent of feminism is, we're also a part of that because we're PC as
Hashtag robot equivalent of feminism, right?
Yeah, it's a long hashtag, but
whatever. It works.
It works. Yeah, of course. So, guys, we're going to get hot and heavy into this because we talked, of course, about Rings last week. Had some things to say about it.
Yeah.
Not a ton of them were positive, unfortunately.
Nah.
And our dear buddy Rio had sent us The Ring versus Grudge. And y'all have to check this shit out. So we're not going to play a clip for you unless you know Japanese. Well, maybe...
Oh, here, hang on. I'm going to play a clip right now. Ready? I'm going to play a clip. End clip.
What did you think?
Did I convince you guys? Because that was me doing the Grudge noise. It wasn't a clip. It was me.
I was focusing on my whiskey.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, cheers.
Okay. Clink. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about The Ring versus The Grudge. We wanted to talk about Ring versus Grudge, obviously, because we talked about Rings last week.
Yep.
And I definitely feel like in movie criticism, honestly, I was just guilty of this a couple seconds ago. Whenever there's an American remake of a foreign movie, I think
Which
in
happens
general,
a lot.
But like especially with horror,
Yeah.
I feel like the Japanese horror movie kind of gets put on a pedestal, and then the American remake is vilified to fuck.
Sure.
I think a lot of hipsters probably saw Ringu, loved it, and then
The Italian noodle.
The Italian noodle
Right,
movie, of
yep.
course. And then they saw The Ring, and we're like, I mean, I guess it's fine.
Yeah.
Even though it's like a pretty fucking good movie.
Right.
So, we had like kind of taken the piss out of Rings and like, oh God, like this is where this like American remake has gotten to at this point.
Sure.
Like, now there's a plane and there's some dude with sunglasses inside. This is goofy as fuck.
I mean, that's more America's issue with sequels than remakes, though.
Of course, but then it's like, God, because the Japanese do sequels on the fucking regular. That's important to note. Like, The Ring has...
See, I did not know that, Kevin.
Yeah, Ringu has several sequels.
Oh, well, there you go.
It's like, man, like, we're taking the piss out of where the American franchise has gone. And I'm sure, like, some part of myself thought, man, I wonder where the Japanese versions went. Did they go this fucking far off the deep end? And the answer is yes, because we are talking about The Ring versus Grudge.
Like, this is like Freddy versus Jason, Alien versus Predator type shit.
Yes, absolutely.
And it looks like madness.
Absolutely it does. Yeah, so there's a group of people... They're not really talked about that much. They're not really the central focus of
No,
this.
I mean, a classic group of young people in a horror movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess they happen to find this tape. They then happen to find the Grudge house.
The haunted house, yeah.
Just the worst fucking luck you could possibly have. And they decide that the best way to handle the situation... Now, bear in mind, again, we're talking about The Ring... So you can just make a copy of the tape. Did you end up seeing The Grudge at all?
I saw it, yes. The Grudge was one of the first movies I saw without, like, parental supervision.
Oh, dope.
So that was kind of a fun memory for me. But
do you remember how they, like, get out?
Not at all. I couldn't tell you a damn thing about the movie. Sarah Michelle Gellar's in it.
Yes.
That I know. And then there's also... I know that.
Yes,
I know
of
those
course.
two things... And that's it.
Instead of just leaving the house, or instead of just making a copy of this tape, this group of teens looks at each other and says, you know what, let's just capitalize off our bad luck, and let's just see if it cancels each other out.
When has that ever gone wrong for any franchise? Because we have seen this before. And I believe the tagline for either Freddy vs. Jason or Alien vs. Predator was, whoever wins, we still lose.
Yeah.
So clearly they haven't seen those movies.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, so after that line is said is, we're going to make them fight each other, it kicks into like this awesome Japanese pop song playing, and it brings a lot of energy to this otherwise...
It brings fun to it.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what I would want a movie called Ring versus Grudge to be.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because Rio sent us this trailer, and we've never heard of this. And we're like, this is fake, right? This can't be a real movie. But it is real.
Yeah.
It is very, very real.
It is absolutely real. And yeah, just watching it, it just raises so many questions. Like what... Because you never see the two actually fight in the trailer.
Right.
Which actually I think is a strength to the trailer. Because now I want to actually... It makes me interested in the movie. Because I'm like, how the fuck is that going to work?
Well, right. I hope they do, in the movie, duke it out, you know? Go fisticuffs, you know? Fisticuffs.
Yeah, fisticuffs. You got
Fist and cuffs. Yeah. I want that. But like you said, it's really interesting that they didn't do that with this trailer because it's pulling from a genre where trailers are traditionally silence and then a surprising reveal behind someone.
We kind of get that in the quote-unquote cold open of the trailer.
Yeah, and like it kind of does the horror film genre trailer tropes, which work really well with it, but then adds this extra layer of, oh guys, they're gonna fight and it's gonna be awesome. So that was a really cool aspect. And they used silence really well in this trailer too, where they just drop music, dialogue, ambient sound, and everything, and it just like goes silent for, a reveal of something. It was really effective to make it creepy and also fun, energetic fun.
Well, and I actually have not seen the Italian Noodle or the Japanese Grudge.
Right.
So I can't speak to whether they're gory or not. But there's definitely a shot in the trailer where the little Grudge kid gets up on a dude's shoulders and looks like he's like pulling his head off.
He's Stretch Armstronging that guy's neck for sure.
Absolutely. And like that's metal as fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm totally down to see where that goes. But yeah, like there was a lot of cool imagery, and they were playing off like the creepiness of the originals. You get the girl like kind of hobbling down the stairs like a crippled spider, and then like you get the girl coming out of the TV and stuff. Which is all great, and it's all like kind of necessary for us to remember, like, okay, this is what we're up
Wasn't the
against
Grudge kid a boy?
The Grudge kid was a boy, but I'm pretty sure the hobbling down the stairs thing was a lady.
Oh, okay. But not the ring girl.
But not the ring girl. No.
Oh, okay. What was I going to say? Oh, the button at the end of the trailer was really cool, too. Because, like you said, we don't really see these guys duking it out in this trailer. But you see the Grudge kid put his hand on the ring tape and just, crush it. And then the ring girl shoots daggers from her eyes, not literally, at the kid. And then you just know it's on. It's on. So, that was really cool, too.
We all might die, but one of them's going to die, too.
And it's going to be highly entertaining.
Of course, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know about you, man. I'm actually pretty interested in this.
I think so, too,
So let's talk for a sec, because since this seems like this is a Japanese movie that we obviously didn't know about this until our friend Rio sent us the trailer.
Right.
And, we're pretty hip people. You would think that...
I mean, you're definitely more hip than I am. I'm way more of a nerd.
Pshaw.
But
anyway, I don't know if this is actually going to hit theaters stateside or not.
There's no way.
Yeah,
right?
So I don't know if we can really grade this on a scale of would this get us in a theater, even though we're on a coast and in a major metropolitan city. There's actually a pretty good chance that we won't get the opportunity to see this in a theater, unless there's a drunken midnight showing at Cinefan or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
which would be amazing.
That would actually be a ton of fun.
So are you saying that
what I'm asking is, should we grade this on the scale of would this get us into a theater, even though there's a good chance that we would never
This is what
do
it
that.
should be. Would this get us to purchase a plane ticket to fly to Japan to go see the movie and then fly back? I think that is fair. In which case, this is a never need to see. I'm totally kidding. Obviously, we're not going to grade it like that.
I'd give it a need to see more. Japan seems like it's pretty dope. My bank account doesn't think so.
But my bank account, not so much.
Okay, so let's say this shows up for video on demand through whatever
but the same price as a movie ticket. $15 to see it one time. I feel like that's how we're going to keep it comparable to the other trailers. So it's video on demand. You get to watch this right now. It just came out in Japan. Same price for a movie ticket that you would spend on Rings or whatever.
Yes.
What do you rate this trailer?
Honestly, I'd give it a need to see it.
I think I would give it a need to see it as well.
Oh my god! All right, alarm bells. Let's do this.
Play the alarm. Ding, ding, ding.
All right, so we got 2 need to see it's for The Ring versus Grudge.
It's
just on the sole merit that it looks entertaining and cool.
That's absolutely correct. So when that Japanese pop song kicked in, that is when I was like, this is something.
I'm kind of sold on
this. Is something completely different.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really into it. For the most part of the trailer, I was just kind of like, okay, it's The Ring. Okay, it's stuff from The Grudge. okay, it's called Versus, so I know they're going to, fight eventually or, duke it out or whatever. But the makers of this movie know this is ridiculous.
Of course.
And
this feels like it's a midnight movie through and through.
Yeah.
This is something that you are going to get into with your friends drunk on like a Thursday night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like you all happen to be at someone's apartment. And it's like, oh my God, The Ring versus Grudge, let's do this. And it's probably going to be a blast.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Need to see it's across the
Ding,
board.
ding, ding.
Rio Hata, we think you should join us for this because you, much like The Ring, you saw this, only had a week to tell someone about it. You sent it to us. We saw it.
We read the email today. And
now we're sending this off to you, our listeners, and saying, come join us or die in a week.
Or be haunted by a kid in the house?
Yeah, or pull hair out of a shower. Yeah, one of those. Listen, the point is you should totally check this trailer out.
Well, check out the trailer, guys.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so that was our first movie, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we have, coming up, a Ben Affleck movie. Now, Ben Affleck, as we all know, has been pretty busy playing Batman. And I think we can all agree fairly successfully. There are definitely differing opinions about the movies themselves. From what I understand,
talking about the Batman Superman movies?
Batman versus Superman. Isn't he in one of the other?
Nope.
I mean, like Justice League.
Not out yet, Kevin.
Not out yet. We've seen a trailer, though, and we can all judge that trailer, which is what we do here, James. So anyway, he's been busy doing Batman shit. I think he's actually going to be directing a Batman movie.
That was announced, and I believe that's still the plan. That he's going to be directing and starring, obviously, in the Batman solo movie.
For sure.
So
he's been really busy with that, and honestly, I didn't realize that this was coming.
He snuck this in under the radar for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. And so let's talk about this. This is called Live by Night, and here's a little clip for y'all.
Even if you win today's battle, there's so much violence in what you do.
Look out! You don't think I'm strong enough?
I don't know if you're cruel enough.
Powerful men don't have to be cruel.
Yeah, so this is Live by Night. It's Ben Affleck's new movie. Written and directed by him. Looks like it's based off of a Dennis Lehane book. He's an author. He wrote the books Gone Baby Gone, The Drop, and I believe Mystic River was a book as well.
Okay, right on.
And Gone Baby Gone, of course, was Ben Affleck's
first.
Yeah, his directorial debut. So he's going back into the Lehane well.
Back to his roots.
Yes, absolutely.
And it looks wicked fucking awesome.
It's so awesome.
Wicked fucking great.
This is starring Ben Affleck, Elle Fanning, Zoe Saldana, Brendan Gleeson, who, let's all just be real, fucking lit. He's a great actor.
He's fantastic. Mad-Eye Moody from Harry Potter, Kevin. Come on.
Of course. I can't remember his character's name, but he's amazing in Bruges.
Harry Potter. He's Mad-Eye Moody in Harry Potter.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to tell me that the assassin in Bruges was named Harry Potter.
No, I'm telling you the only thing he's been in that matters, which is Harry Potter.
I thought you liked In Bruges.
I like In Bruges just fine, Kevin.
How do you feel about Braveheart?
Never seen it.
How do you feel about Calvary?
Never seen it.
Calvary's so good, dude.
Okay, all right, let's move on. We got to talk about this wicked fucking awesome Ben Affleck
Brandon Gleeson? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Yes, Live by Night. So, James, do you want to take us through a little spell? What was going on here?
Sure. So, I don't really know how to start with this one.
Did you also not get that great of a sense of story?
Okay, so this is what I want to open up with. We'll dive into like the actual events of the trailer in a bit. Mm-hmm. All of Ben Affleck's 3 movies so far have been about specific events. You know what I'm saying? Like Gone Baby Gone was about the detective finding this girl, right? That is the story.
Sure.
The Town is about a bank heist. Right?
There was more than one bank heist.
Or multiple like a chain of bank heists.
Sure.
Though they were trying to accomplish a goal.
Okay. Yeah.
And Argo is obviously about getting the hostages out.
Yes.
So this one is like the first one where, at least by the trailer implications, looks more like a biopic for a character that doesn't even really exist. Like a fictional character.
Yeah, okay.
It just looks like a biopic movie, which, you know, biopics are all well and good, but a lot of the times I feel like they meander a bit and I get kind of bored with them because they can't really focus on
one aspect
of this person's super interesting life.
Yeah.
They are just like, we got to show everything.
Yeah, it's like they're hoping that one theme sort of ties it all together, but at the end of the day, there's so much going on.
They just pack so much in. And this trailer was good. I like the trailer, but like you said, I did not grasp an iota of a story.
I know.
At all.
I think for me, one of the reasons why I didn't grasp so much was because I was really distracted by the visuals, and that's actually in a good way.
I was going to say.
I thought it looked really good.
Looks gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think something else that really struck me about this was the violence in this trailer. Because to my recollection, the town... Yeah, like we have some bank robbery scenes, but for the most part, it's not a crazy violent movie. You know what I'm saying?
No, not so much, yeah.
Same with Gone Baby Gone. Gone Baby Gone is more of a detective story. Argo definitely doesn't have that much violence. It's more a heist movie, more or less.
For people.
For people.
Yeah.
We're stealing people instead of money. And somehow they're the good guys. Anyway. So, yeah, at this point, I'm more thinking it has to be one of Ben Affleck's, just from the trailer. Unless every single violent act in the movie is in this trailer, this movie's going to be grisly.
Yeah,
There's a lot of shit that happened. We get explosions, we get that dude falling down the stairwell, and as he's falling, he's getting shot. So what the fuck he did to make people mad? It has to be extreme.
Sometimes overkill is necessary.
Yeah, maybe.
Quite literally.
Maybe in context it makes sense. But yeah, like some throat slittings, it did. It seemed like it was incredibly violent, especially for Ben Affleck and what I've kind of come to expect from his movies.
Sure.
And honestly, that's part of what's got me intrigued about the movie is... Can he pull it off? And so far, just from what I've seen in the trailer, the answer looks like yes.
Yeah, the visuals
All the visuals
incredible.
Look great. That shot where that gentleman with the shotgun, I think it might actually be Ben Affleck, runs for cover and then like dips out and he's like taking a few pot shots. I know just explaining that sounds like, you know, a fairly ho-hum and generic action thing. But in context, I thought it actually looked really good.
It did really look good.
Yeah. There's also a really great shot. It's super brief, though, where the police are beating on a dude. And the way that it's composed, where the guy who's laying on the ground is center of the frame, and then the cops above him are really huge. Or they look like they're really huge because the camera's at the ground.
Yeah.
They're lit from behind by the headlights of their patrol cars. And, you know, he's coming down with that baton. And that looks fucking great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It looked fantastic.
All across the board visually. And obviously you have that massive shot of the river. That's, of course, gorgeous. Mm-hmm. But just from a visual standpoint, I was super jazzed about it.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed.
Yeah. Going back to what we think, like breaking down the trailer, though, a little bit. So it appears that it's about Ben Affleck, who seems to be some sort of mob boss, in what we assume is maybe... Kevin, you're blowing up right now, man. You're so popular.
I got one text, and then that turned into 15.
It goes over all of your devices.
I'm sorry. I actually should here. Do not disturb. There we go. I'm gonna put it on vibrate.
So Ben Affleck seems to be like a mob boss of some sort, or someone who climbed the ranks, you know, in a real gritty way. In Boston, right? It's got to be fucking in
You would
Boston.
have to assume. I'm pretty sure a lot of Dennis Lehane's novels, if not all of them, are set in Boston anyway.
Well, Mystic River was for sure.
Mystic River was. The Drop was. Gone Baby Gone fucking has to be with those accents. And it's Ben Affleck, so of course it's fucking Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So he is in maybe a relationship with Zoe Saldana. Did I pronounce that right? Saldana?
Yeah,
I'm really
so.
bad at pronouncing her
Avatar
name.
Lady.
Sure, Avatar Lady. Except not blue in this one.
Shame.
So they have like some sort of relationship, and she kind of doesn't think he has what it takes to be in like living this kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, there's really not much of a story going on. He seems to get into some trouble.
Yeah.
And then someone comes that we don't know who it is and is like,
I'm going to punish you for your sins.
Yeah, you always wanted someone to punish you for your sins, and I'm the guy to do it.
Yeah.
Fucking wicked awesome. That's exactly verbatim what he says in the trailer, by the way.
Direct quote.
Yeah.
I actually just dropped in a snippet from the trailer.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, you also get the sense at a certain point that Ben Affleck doesn't really seem to be too happy with what's going on. He's giving Avatar Lady a hug and seems pretty bummed about whatever's going on. He's at cemeteries for funerals looking pretty bummed.
Yep.
We're getting the other side of this lifestyle because there is obviously, we see in the trailer a lot of excess. We get the parties.
Yeah.
And then we get the other side.
Kind of a Great Gatsby feel to it, except way more of a mob presence.
Yeah, I mean, that'd actually be a cool way to break this down. This movie right now kind of looks like if The Great Gatsby and The Untouchables were melded into one movie. And honestly, I'd watch it. Yeah. That sounds like a pretty interesting movie.
Al Capone and Jay Gatsby, for sure.
Hanging out.
Yeah.
Why not? With a blue lady from Avatar. So even though from a visual standpoint, and even though just from like the basis of theory, what do I think this movie looks like?
Yeah.
I think this does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
That said, now it might be my state. It might be that I've had a little bit of whiskey. It might be that I'm a little bit sleepy. Who knows? But I feel if I've watched your trailer twice and I still can't really put a finger on what the story is supposed to be, I think that's a bad sign.
Yeah. I mean, a lot could be said for people claiming things are teasers and not trailers, and therefore they avoid the responsibility of having to give some semblance of a plot.
Sorry, you guys didn't see me do that, but I just did the nonverbal equivalent of
But I think, like, even the good teasers still give some sort of hint of what a movie's about. And,
sure.
like,
we at least had a rough idea of what was going on in that Ring versus Grudge trailer.
And, like, with the exception of certain franchises like Star Wars. Like, the first teaser for the Star Wars Force Awakens, it was super, super awesome, I think. And I think you really liked it, too.
Yeah.
But, like, if you really break it down for someone who knows nothing about Star Wars, they probably wouldn't be able to pick up on a plot either. That's a little different. It's an established franchise that most people know what this thing is about.
Yeah. Even if you haven't seen Star Wars, you know what a stormtrooper looks like. You know what you might not be able to say the name of Millennium Falcon like I just failed at, but you know by sight, oh yeah, that's something from, Star Wars or Star Trek 1 or 2.
Yeah. So anyway, a movie like this, I don't think, like, if you're gonna make it a teaser, if you have to do a teaser, just put some semblance of plot in there.
Of course.
Because, like, what do you want? What do I want? I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, that was the thing too, is the second time I was making it a point to focus on the trailer, but then again, about a quarter of the way through,
didn't you,
I got
by the
distracted
visuals.
again.
Oh, they're so beautiful.
Yeah, that shot I had mentioned, that really brief one where the cops are beating on the dude, I didn't notice that the first time, so I noticed that the second time and went, Jesus, that looked great! And it totally threw me off again. And I went, wait, what's going on? Oh, Ben Affleck's sad, I guess? Oh, the trailer's over.
Yeah.
And
one of my favorite things about it was, okay, so I'm the first to admit I really don't know shit about cars.
Sure.
Especially these old-timey, I think, Model Ts. Is that what they're called?
Model T sounds like it's something you could drive.
Sure.
So I'll go with you.
They're these really, really old, like, really tall cars. You know, they almost look like horse-drawn carriages with motors and engines and shit. So the things these cars were pulling off, though, I was having a little bit of a hard time believing that it could... Like, there was, like, a Model T type car going into a drift, like from Tokyo Drift. And then there was this other one, like, doing, like, 3 flips and exploding. I'm like, I don't think these cars had the capability to get up to a momentum to be able to flip like that.
I totally think that's fair. That said, though, I think, from what I've seen in the trailer, the violence is very stylized.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it didn't bother me, really.
You had that little, looked like a very crude TNT...
Yeah.
And then that blows up at the party, and everyone kind of like, oh, whoa! And then flies back, and it is
over-dramatized.
It's very over-dramatized.
Yeah.
And
I didn't have a problem with it, but it did stick out to me more than any of the other stuff.
That's fair.
Like, that car is flying and drifting around corners. That's pretty crazy.
I cannot speak to drifting prowess.
I had to say that.
If anybody listening knows anything about Model Ts...
If it is a Model T, I don't even know if it is. I don't know anything about cars.
By the way, if you claim that they can drift, fucking prove it. Upload that onto YouTube. We'll link it to our Facebook.
Yeah, prove me wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Dickheads.
The burden of proof is on you, audience, that is probably just trying to listen to us while you're doing work. Or
Nah, there's no one listening anymore. Except Rio. Hi, Rio.
Hey, Rio. So anyway, what would you give?
Okay, based on this trailer alone, as much as I loved the visual style and I did love the over-dramatizing of certain things, and as much as I love Ben Affleck's previous movies, I'm going to have to give this one a need to see more. Just because...
I'm so surprised that's where you're going after all of those.
Shut up. I get it.
I'm kidding. I'm 100% in the same boat.
Okay, all right. It's
100%.
just, like we talked about, it's just, we watched it multiple times and we still really can't put our finger on what this movie is about. And like you said, maybe it's a bad sign. I'm not saying it's a bad sign right now.
I'm not saying it's a bad sign for the movie. I'm saying it's a bad sign for the trailer.
For a trailer. It's I need to see more. And honestly, if they do want to call this a teaser, maybe, they're expecting people to see more. So there you go, whatever. But fuck it. Even a teaser should be convincing people to buy tickets.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be convincing people to wait for another trailer.
Bear in mind, I definitely don't think a trailer has to tell me the story. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I love atmospheric trailers.
Absolutely.
Just as much as I love a trailer that gives me a breakdown of here's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That said, again, just based on, it seems like there is a character arc through this trailer, at least from what I remember, of Ben Affleck, who pulls this tiny bank heist, kind of swings his dick to the lady from Avatar. Not literally, of course, this isn't Hands of Stone.
No, I know.
But, he definitely strikes himself to be a big-time gangster.
For sure.
So it feels like there is definitely an arc that's going on through here, but the specifics of that plot and that character right now aren't really that clear to me, and I can't tell if that's just because it might not be the best put-together trailer in the world, or if it's because that character is kind of thin, Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Because honestly, thinking back on it, and I've seen The Town a couple of times at this point, I can't really tell you that much about his character, having not seen it for a few years. Whereas I feel like a really good character, I can tell you beat for beat who Michael Corleone is.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I haven't seen The Godfather in a couple of... Do you want to watch The Godfather? It's been a couple of years for me. But that said, I don't know if that's necessarily a strength to Ben Affleck as a storyteller. It's his characters. I think he is more style, story, and that's kind of what he's going
even
for.
In Argo, his character was kind of bland.
Yeah.
They're really not that interesting of characters.
I vaguely remember John Goodman's character being fun and Alan Arkin's character being fun, but they're definitely more caricatures.
Yeah.
They're the stereotypical Hollywood producing.
The hostages were really, I feel, well painted out, well drawn out. And in Gone Baby Gone, I felt Casey Affleck was really great as, a full-on three-dimensional character there, too. Yeah. I honestly think it's just when kind of Ben Affleck is acting in his own movies, he's kind of like the most bland part of it.
And it's kind of weird because we were talking up Ben Affleck he's doing a solid job as Batman. Oh, yeah, he's a pretty solid director. And then it's he is kind of fucking bland in his movies.
But maybe, but for the movies that he's directing, maybe he has a hard time directing himself as an actor, as an actor/director. Maybe he's really good at directing other people. He's great at visual storytelling. He's a good actor when directed by a right director. Maybe Ben Affleck the actor and Ben Affleck the director really butt heads. And Ben Affleck the actor really phones it in to just stick it to Ben Affleck the director. That's what I think is happening right here.
It's either that or he's just a douchey Boston guy when he's on set and he does a scene and then he walks up to his AD and goes, "Hey, Chris, what do you think of that?" "I'm just kidding. I don't give a fuck what you think." And that AD actually had taken the time to write notes down and is like, "Hey, you know what? Fine. You know what? I'll let him dig his own grave. Fuck him." He's not going to win an Academy Award.
Oh, he did, though.
He totally did. So we're both at a need to see more for this. That said, totally check this out because it is pretty. If you know what the story is, totally hit us up.
Hit us up, please.
Let us know what's going on. Otherwise, if you're like us and you can't really get a good sense of it, just fucking mute the thing and just enjoy it because it is a visual treat.
It's gorgeous, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. So next, we are going to talk about the Morgan trailer.
Oh,
this is, once
boy.
again, the trailer that was completely made from an AI.
Nice to meet you, Morgan.
Nice to meet you, Lee.
All right, more on Morgan.
More on
do
Morgan.
this. So, actually, a pretty big cast gathered for this. We got Paul Giamatti is in it, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Brian Cox, Kate Mara, who had a ton of fun with a train in House of Cards.
You have to say spoiler alert for stuff like that, right?
I didn't mention what kind of fun with the train, James.
That's true. It was a train set.
It was a train set.
Yeah.
It's like that scene in Fantastic Mr. Fox. She's just hanging out and playing on the train,
Yeah.
really bonding with Kevin Spacey.
Egret the Wildling from Game of Thrones is in it.
Yes, Toby Jones.
There you go. Okay.
He is also in it. Another Harry Potter alum.
Wait, who's Toby Jones?
He's the shorter British dude.
Someone from Harry Potter is in it.
Anyways, so yes, Morgan. So by the looks of it, this movie is about an AI that is in a human form?
feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's like half AI, half like almost a cyborg type of thing.
Because it's growing. Like we start
exactly.
the trailer with
it's organic,
she's a kid.
Yeah.
And now she seems to be a teenager.
Sure.
And is
The
continuing to
angsty preteen years, Kevin, that we all know so well. It's so emo.
She's fucking with Paul Giamatti and being like, "Oh, you don't see your daughter that much, loser." And Paul Giamatti's like, "Oh,
What a jerk!
what did I do?"
Your name should be Helena.
What?
So long and good night.
I don't know why I started singing along. I still don't know what's happening.
I'm just saying she was.
That's how good of a song.
I'm just saying she was emo.
Oh, she's emo. Yes,
Yeah.
of course. She's
All right.
absolutely emo.
The emo AI.
Anyway, we've run into another trailer where it doesn't give us that much story, and I think it's really more meant to build atmosphere and build tension. And so,
by atmosphere, I think we can come away that it's a thriller. It's a horror,
horror
thriller. Sure.
Well, I definitely think with the sound too, because we get that very light lullaby that comes in.
Hush, little baby, don't say
You get that, and then you also have kind of sounds like little girl choir kind of doing like the
yeah,
which
super haunting.
I didn't think so. I thought it sounded like someone farting into a kazoo. I was not into that at all. Which we're going to end up disagreeing on something else about this trailer later, so it's all good. I didn't think that really worked. That said, I think from a visual standpoint, I was kind of having fun with it.
Sure.
That shot where Kate Mara's up and she's separated by glass from Morgan.
Yep.
And her reflection is over Morgan.
Well, Morgan steps into Kate Mara's reflection from the camera's perspective, and it's stunning. There's something so simple about that shot, but so cool.
Yeah.
Like, that is a cool shot. But anyway, so like you said, she is an AI, maybe AI human hybrid type person who's growing. They're keeping her on lockdown, and they're pretty much treating her like a science experiment. So I think what we're supposed to gather from this trailer is that she breaks out, like you said. We obviously see her outside at, some scenes.
I would honestly contend that Kate Mara's the one that breaks her out, because we get that shot of her throwing that chair into a very large pane of glass.
Sure.
The only other time we have that very large pane of glass is when we're seeing Morgan and she's separated by that.
Yep.
So I would just pontificate from the trailer that Kate Mara is the one that breaks her out.
Okay.
Maybe this is spoiler alert, maybe this is another Ex Machina situation where she feels like she has some sort of connection to Morgan.
To Morgan, right.
Or feels that it's not right to keep her locked up, and so she helps her break out.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that that's an awful idea.
Yeah.
Either way, they get out. She says, I have to go say goodbye to Mother. And
we don't really know who Mother is.
We don't know who Mother
we don't
is.
have context for this. And also, sorry, continue what you were saying. I was going to change the subject, but...
So, really, from a story standpoint, we get the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff we were talking about, AI... A lot of that stuff is things that, honestly, I just, read on IMDb. Had I not known that, I would have walked away from this trailer knowing for certain this is an AI that's in a human body or whatever. I still don't really know.
Exactly.
It's definitely not clear, and I think that really what this AI that was creating this trailer was going for was just to create tension and to make you scared.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really that frightened. I wasn't really that interested by what was going on because I didn't have context.
Yeah. And honestly, the Morgan actress delivery was very... And, like, obviously she's playing a artificial intelligence, but it's very boring delivery. And, like... I'm sorry, but after a movie like Ex Machina came out last year, you got to step up your game.
Fuck yeah.
Because
you're talking to two huge Ex Machina fans right here.
Blew me away. And I forget the actress who played...
Alicia Vikander, I believe is how you say her last name.
Is she Swedish or something?
Yeah,
right?
Swedish, I believe.
Her portrayal of... Fuck, what is the...
Harry Potter.
No.
It doesn't matter. Her portrayal is really good.
Of the robot.
Yeah.
What's the robot's name? Okay. Anyway, yeah, her portrayal is so... Like, you get this robotic, qualities from her voice, but she's still so animated and interested and...
Yeah.
And, like, sad or happy, or you can tell all these things from her voice, and that was incredible. And this movie is coming, like, a year later, and I'm not saying to, rip off Ex Machina... But I just feel like that is a less interesting performance after seeing Ex Machina.
Yeah, so I mean, I completely agree with that, because I think really if we are to take an AI seriously, to pass the Turing test, if you will, we have to believe it's human. And I think that's what was really smart about Ex Machina, is her as a robot. And granted, I mean, she's got all them fucking wires and blue shit going on. So it's like, you could probably put two and two together and deduce that she's a robot.
Yeah.
That said, in order to pass a Turing test, a robot has to be able to convince you that it's human. And it's so much more interesting if it passes the test, because then I don't know if you, James, are a robot. You don't know if I'm a robot. Like, I think especially in the context of a horror thriller, that racks that fucking tension up through the roof.
Sure.
Because you never know for sure. It's like The Thing, but it might actually happen. That's fucked up.
Bunch of replicants running around.
Absolutely. I really, it was just a long way to say I agree. Now that I think about it.
There were certain things also that, like, just really didn't make sense in the context of the trailer. Like, Ygritte, the wildling from Game of Thrones, at one point in the trailer is screaming, "Don't go down there!" And then Morgan, like, shows up right in front of her, and Ygritte looks all scared, and Morgan says, "I need to say goodbye to Mother." It's like, you have no
Mother is.
Who is she talking to?
Where is
down there? Why is she saying don't go down there? Like, I can put two and two together.
We're great at addition here.
Right? I can put two and two together and pick up that it's down there is not good. It's bad down there. But it's like...
Or it's just bad if Morgan gets
But the visuals of the trailer didn't, like, set up a thing where we could visually see what their surroundings were. Yeah. It was literally just like a close-up of Ygritte screaming, "Don't go down there," and then there's no cutaway to anything of what she's even talking about. So that, like, really was, like, interesting to me, because we are trying to keep in mind that an artificial intelligence cut this trailer together.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to, like, keep those things in mind too, and be like,
hashtag robo-feminism.
Yeah, hashtag robot feminism.
Robot feminism?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that I didn't like. The one thing we disagreed on was the part where Kate Mara is throwing a chair through
I will say,
glass.
I think for a trailer, sure, that doesn't work. I think in a movie, if that is beat for beat what happens in the movie when she throws the chair and it cuts to black right before impact, I think I in the theater would be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a really cool technique to give us all that build up to that violence, but then to completely cut away for the actual impact.
I think it was a cool shot.
Yeah.
I think Kate Mara in that scene looked a little too unenthused. She just, like, picked up the chair very, like, whatever. And she just kind of, it looked like she
bringing in groceries.
It looked like she just kind of shrugged the chair at the window. And then I was like, good thing they cut to black, because that chair was just going to bounce right off of it with that momentum that she was throwing it. I don't know. I just didn't buy the intensity that the trailer is trying to bring with that shot at that moment.
You think Kate Mara would have a lot of experience with throwing things, given how much she gets thrown around, especially in front of trains. I wrecked
Kevin, no!
Totally wrecked it. You don't know yet.
We don't know.
You don't know what I wrecked, but I wrecked something.
Throwing train sets.
Train sets, yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
that friendly train session turns real ugly.
Fantastic recovery, Kevin.
Yes, of course. Thank you. No one will ever know.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought there were some interesting things in it that I'm like, interesting. So that's we all take that into account with this artificial intelligence cutting this trailer.
All right. So we got to talk more about artificial intelligence. That said, we need to
give a rating.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say never need to see it, to be completely honest with you. Just on the basis of, it looks like this is treading very familiar ground with Ex Machina, but not nearly as interesting. Really, it just seems like Ex Machina if it was a horror movie. Because, I mean, I think when you get down to the themes and the questions that Ex Machina asks, and especially the ending Ex Machina has, there's plenty of terrible and scary things to think about.
Ex Machina is horrifying.
Yeah, coming out of that movie. And it's really subtle about it. And I feel like the Morgan trailer, and by extension the movie, just from what I gleaned from this, it's asking those same questions, but it's grabbing you by the shoulder, shaking you, and screaming them at you.
Yeah.
Instead of, Ex Machina sits you down for a cup of coffee and is like, so you're going to die one day and robots are going to take over, right? And it's like, Jesus! I was just trying to enjoy this coffee creamer, and
instead
now I'm
of writing it down on a napkin and slowly sliding it across the table towards you.
Good point, yeah.
I totally agree with you. This is a complete never need to see it for me based on this trailer.
Yes.
And I haven't seen any other trailers outside of this one. Obviously, the movie's out already. We've already said that. But we really wanted to review this one because this is the first, major motion picture trailer that has been edited by artificial intelligence. So I feel like that's something that we should really talk about.
And we're going to talk about it more in our fucking runaway trailer segment.
Yeah.
Pew, 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 pew. So yes, for our runaway trailer this week, we are going to talk about artificial intelligence. And not to spoil anything, but there's definitely strong opinions at this table when it comes to artificial intelligence. Now, I want to keep it a little bit more specific to Morgan because I wanted to more so focus on, was it a good trailer or not?
Sure.
I didn't really think so. I did not think
so either.
I think it was more an atmospheric trailer. But that said, the atmosphere just didn't work for me. And whether that's specifically because of the movie or because whatever IBM computer fucking cut this together screwed up, whatever.
I think this artificial intelligence needs a new line of work, am I right?
I think this artificial intelligence needs a little bit more intelligence.
Two on the nose, Kevin.
What?
Get the hell out of here with your damn intelligent humor.
I know you can't see me, but I look very sad now, everyone. So that said, now that we've kind of talked about the actual movie itself, we should talk about an AI cutting a movie. And I definitely didn't think that it worked that great. But I think that the questions this is raising, because if you find the trailer on YouTube, the trailer's only like a minute and a half. And then from there we get into basically them talking about how the trailer was made, and these folks at IBM talking about their process and what they did.
It's objectively interesting.
It is objectively interesting.
No matter your thoughts on the matter of artificial intelligence and stuff, it is fascinating, for sure. I can totally admit that.
Absolutely.
And if I'm not prefacing myself enough, Kevin, I'm the one on the opposite end of
the AI. Yeah, we know.
Okay.
No, we totally
Well, the audience doesn't know, Kevin.
Yeah. Now, that said, right at the very end of that, the guy, his name is John Smith. I'm not making it up. We could not have found a more boring fucking name for this artificial intelligence guy.
He's probably a robot.
That's a good point. He's probably already a robot.
He looks like a robot imitating a human, for sure.
He basically posits, can robots create art? Can we ever hit a point where a robot creates something?
Because editing is art.
It's
a
definitely
form of art.
a creative
It's a
process.
creative job. It's a creative talent.
Yeah.
And it definitely brought that into question. And that's not the first time that concept has been thought up either. I think the first time me thinking about that was in the movie I, Robot with Will Smith. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
Okay, so in that movie, the robot, I forget its name or whatever, is like drawing pictures. And that was the first time that thought like kind of struck a chord with me of like, what does this mean? Like, yeah, it's good, but like there's something missing. There's something hollow about it to me. The fact that it wasn't done by a human. Like it's not a craft anymore. I don't know how to explain it. It's just there's something missing for me.
I think it's perspective more than anything. And I think that is kind of my rebuttal to right now. Like in 2016, because who the fuck knows where artificial intelligence is going to be in 15, 20 years. And so, yeah, I mean, it does raise a lot of questions for the future, but I think in the here and now, really, as of right now, artificial intelligences really can't figure out emotions, and I think that's where art plays the most into, is emotion, because art inherently isn't a science. Like, you can't just feed something 50 different scary movies and then have it just figure out, oh, well, I saw that lighting was low in all of these shots, and based on these IMDb scores, these were the scenes that were scariest, therefore, this is what's going to be scary. No, you need context. You need some sort of reason. And again, that's what we were talking about in our review. There's no fucking context in this trailer whatsoever.
It's a lot of
just
jumping.
It's just picking what the artificial intelligence thinks are the scariest scenes based on an algorithm and then cutting it in. And ultimately, there's no perspective.
Wait, and then technically that isn't even artificial intelligence then. If it's using like an algorithm or something, that's not artificial intelligence, right? Isn't that just you are programmed this thing to do a specific task and it's doing it?
I think the process was the algorithm kind of like helped it with a jumping off point.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Okay, so now I'm going to pick this and this.
And also the weird thing about this trailer is the filmmakers were very vague on to what extent of completion did this AI do this trailer? Yeah. Because the one guy was talking, I forget his name, but someone...
John Smith?
No, not John Smith. Okay. It was the other guy. The other guy. I don't know.
Alan Smith?
But someone was talking about how this AI got, a certain way, but needed the creative push that like I helped with or something. Yeah. And it was left so vague that it just begs the question, how much of this did this AI actually do? Like, we don't really know.
I'd love to see the editor's cut for this trailer.
Yeah, right?
Absolutely.
Before this guy got his hands on it to fix the creative aspect of it.
There's a chance that trailer, that editor's cut...
What if it's better?
If it's better, that would be really embarrassing for all of us as humans.
They're like, this is too good. We need to scuff it up a little bit around the edges.
No, I will never get work again if this makes the light day. I need to fuck this up.
It's just kind of weird. I don't know. It's weird thinking about artificial intelligence doing art.
It is.
Because,
it's totally weird.
Because artificial intelligence is created, right? It's programmed to do something. I feel like if you're programming it to figure out how to do art, is that really art then? Or you're just telling it what to do? You're telling it how to be creative,
but then which is inherently not creative.
But then again, playing the devil's advocate to myself, I guess you could say the same thing about parenting a child. When you're parenting a child, you're programming it, in layman's terms, you're teaching it how to do certain things the way that you know how to do it.
But there were definitely instances where, like, there were good parents who have shitty kids, and vice versa.
But that's just problems in the programming.
Yeah. That said, I think really the main difference is I feel like we as humans have a perspective on something. So it's like you, James, and you, our listeners, well, you, Rio Hata, our listener.
We will get more listeners, Kevin.
We will. Now, there might be people who have had very similar experiences to us, But I do definitely believe that we have our singular experience for how we've lived our lives up until this point, and from that, how we perceive the world.
We're beautiful, beautiful snowflakes, Kevin, and we can't ever be recreated. Is that what you're saying?
To an extent.
That's gorgeous. I love it.
And there might be people who have, like, similar outlooks on life as you or I.
Sure.
But I think ultimately, like, we have, like, no one also really loved Star Wars growing up and had, like, every fucking thing that's ever happened to you happen to you. Like, I think that's bullshit.
Accurate, I think, maybe, yeah.
And if you want to email in and be like, no, I know exactly how James grew up because that's exactly how I grew up, fucking email in and prove me wrong. That's fine. Because I genuinely believe that we've all had very singular experiences, and that's what makes art exciting, is if you were to write, say, like we came up with the same idea for a screenplay, if you were to write it and then I were to go write it, I totally believe it would look different.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because we have different styles, we have different outlooks, we have different tastes, and from that we're able to create art from our own voice. And I think the important thing with AI is, as of right now, an artificial intelligence doesn't really have a voice. And
Isn't the voice Stephen Hawking?
Dope joke. Dope joke. That said,
we're PC as fuck here, Kevin. I'm sorry.
PC as fuck. Our apologies to Stephen Hawking. That said, just to finish out my point, I think that right now artificial intelligence is, like, they're all created, like, it's all just a set of chips and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's all created by a person, and I just don't understand how that can have a unique perspective from another piece of artificial intelligence. I can buy that a robot can paint a fucking picture.
Sure.
But if you put two robots next to each other, tell them paint a sailboat, are they both going to paint something that looks different? Are they going to paint the exact same thing? Because if they paint the same thing, then, like, maybe technically that's art, but can you call the robot the artist? Or is it drawing images that a human artist created and painted that sailboat?
That's exactly my thought process. Yeah.
This is getting so much heavier than I thought this fucking podcast
Quick,
would
make a joke, Kevin.
Fart.
That was awesome.
Yeah!
Cheers. That wasn't good, though.
Nah. I blanked. I really blanked.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I got weird feelings about it, I guess.
Sure.
It's weird. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't need to see improvements on artificial intelligent edited trailers. I just want humans to edit trailers. I don't want that.
I mean, I think ultimately, I don't think, especially as of right now, a robot could replace a human artist. And I mean, even here, a human artist came in and then was like, whoa, and then changed shit around.
Yeah.
That said, I think if robots were to be able to create art, again, it has to be a singular vision that can only come from that particular make and model from that IBM computer. We would know artists by serial numbers instead of names. You know what I'm saying? Like, because again...
See, I hate that concept, right? I hate that idea. It rubs me the wrong way. And the thing that rubs me the wrong way the most is not actually that computer being an artist. It's people like John Smith in that fucking video who get so excited about the idea of robots basically doing everything a human being can do. Why are certain people so obsessed with artificial intelligence getting to that point of being their own total entity? I don't get it. Like, what is their obsession with it?
Maybe it stems from loneliness. Maybe they're trying to create another set.
Get a fucking dog. Seriously.
That's where we end this. So,
John Smith, get a fucking dog.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, artificial intelligences aren't singular enough in order to create art. And John Smith, get a fucking dog.
Yep.
That's it. That's where we're at.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Okay. You have something to say, or should I say Patrick Warburton has
I feel like we have Patrick Warburton has something to say here. We did a special segment called James Leesky Presents Patrick Warburton Presents on our first episode. Mm-hmm. So I had initially thought oh, I should do something from Gene Wilder, because Gene Wilder just recently passed away, and he was a comedic hero of mine.
Of course. Same.
And
God, I grew up on Willy Wonka.
Oh my God. Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles. It's incredible. He's just so talented. And he's from Wisconsin, which is just even more, it just like makes me feel even more
connected.
Of a weird connection to him. But I'm not going to do a Gene Wilder, Patrick Warburton impression just because, I don't know, I couldn't think of the right one to do in a Patrick Warburton voice.
Well, and also, I think we should be celebrating Gene Wilder's voice, and I feel like it would be strange
God, he's got such an incredible voice, and I can't, nor would I want to replicate it. So I am instead going to do a Patrick Warburton doing Mikey from the Goonies speech. Like a little monologue from Mikey from the Goonies. It's actually a request from one of our listeners. So here we go.
Oh, shit. Go for it, sir.
The next time you see the sky, it'll be over another town. The next time you take a test, it'll be in some other school. Our parents, they want the bestest stuff for us. But right now, they gotta do what's right for them. 'Cause it's their time. Their time. Up there. Down here, it's our time. It's our time down here. That's all over the second we ride up Troy's bucket. Goonies never say die. End quote.
That's so menacing to hear Patrick Warburton say Goonies never say die. For some reason, I feel like something's terrible is going to happen.
I felt good about that one.
I like that.
All right, cool.
I think overall I felt good about the episode, too.
Hey!
It got pretty heavy, though.
It did. You know what, though? We capped it off with a dog joke, so there you go.
There's nothing more.
Everyone loves dogs.
Everyone loves dogs. What are we, monsters? What are we, robots? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much for listening. You said so, I said very, so I'm thinking...
We're different enough.
I'm thinking them more than you, basically.
I guess. Man, I wish I had more artificial intelligence. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, please hit us up on Facebook.
Yes.
Please subscribe. Please rate us on iTunes. Hopefully 5 stars, but, we'll take whatever.
Yeah, whatever. We're on, like you said, we're on Stitcher now as well.
You can email us at trailerhitchmailbox@gmail.com. Feel free to drop us a line. Real, we hope you enjoyed it. We gave your movie recommendation or trailer recommendation.
That's right. Real, you got to convince other people to start listening to this podcast now. That is the repayment that you have to do for us reviewing your trailer.
Or we'll kill you in a week. Anyway, thank you guys.
No, we won't, though. We're not going to do that.
Obviously, that was facetious.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, thank you guys so much. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Yes. Bye.
You can't mend holy sails without a sailor stitch, and you can't haul your stuff without a trailer hitch.